Greetings, and congratulations on your admission to the School of Business at the George Washington University. My name is Christopher Fitch, and I am the International Student Liaison for the School of Business at the George Washington University. I am here to assist you in obtaining your student visa and to answer any questions you may have. This presentation is for international students who will be attending the School of Business and will require a Form I-20 or DS-2019. This presentation outlines the process for all international students requesting an I-20 from the George Washington University. For those students that are currently in the U.S. and will transfer their CVIS record to the George Washington University and or will have dependents accompany them, please refer to the supplemental videos on CVIS transfer students and students with dependents. This presentation is designed to answer any questions you have regarding obtaining your Form I-20 or DS-2019 from the George Washington University. Please note, the George Washington University will sometimes be referred to as GW and the School of Business as GWSB. Welcome to the School of Business, and let us begin. In order to attend a university in the United States, you must obtain an F or J1 student visa. To obtain the visa, you must first receive a Form I-20 or DS-2019 from the institution you are planning to attend, in this case, the George Washington University School of Business. The Form I-20 or DS-2019 is a document issued by the school that allows you to apply for a student visa at the United States Consulate in your country. Students requesting an F1 visa will need a Form I-20. Students requesting a J1 visa will need a Form DS-2019. In order to obtain a Form I-20 or DS-2019, you must submit to the School of Business the following: a copy of the biographic page of your passport, a visa request form, and supporting financial documentation to prove you can pay the cost of attendance at GW, all of which will be explained in more detail in the following slides. The first form is the Visa Request and Financial Certification form. This form contains general information about yourself, such as your name, address, and contact information. This form can be found on the Graduate Admissions website. Please use the most up-to-date form from the Graduate Admissions website. Forms not for the academic year for which you are applying will not be accepted. We do not accept outdated forms. This is the Visa Request and Financial Certification form. On the Visa Request and Financial Certification form, please write exactly the following. Please write your name exactly as it appears on your passport. We do not accept nicknames or abbreviations. For your address, please write your permanent address where you live. We will not accept P.O. boxes as valid permanent addresses. This address must be outside of the United States. For the areas concerning your citizenship, where you were born, what country you now reside, and your occupation in your country, please pay careful attention to fill in each field correctly. For example, if you were born in China but now live in Argentina and have legal permanent residence in both, please state both. If you are a U.S. citizen or permanent green card holder, you do not require a student visa and thus do not need to fulfill any of these requirements. In the area where it says what GW school you will be applying to, please write the School of Business. Next, the form asks the degree to which you are applying. Here, please state what degree program you are applying to, which can easily be found on your acceptance letter. After you fill in your degree, you are asked to state your current visa status. Note that the majority of you are not currently in the United States on an F or J visa, and so this does not apply to you, thus leave it blank. For those of you currently in the United States, please indicate the following: your visa type, if you plan on changing your status to F or J status, or if you are traveling on your current F or J visa, if you plan on re-entering the United States on that visa, or if you will require a new F or J visa. For those of you planning on bringing dependents, such as a spouse or children, please also indicate this here by checking the box. The academic living section of the visa request form is the area you must pay careful attention to. This area indicates the total cost of attendance for the School of Business. It breaks down the cost of attendance by the cost of tuition, the estimated cost of a living, the estimated cost of books, and the cost of health insurance. The total cost of attendance for each year is indicated at the bottom of the first page of the form. This is the number you must prove you have available for each year you plan to study at the School of Business. Thus, you need the most up-to-date form so you can indicate the correct amount on page 2. The bottom of the page states the cost for all programs except for the Masters of Science in Finance and MBA programs. If you are in either one of these programs, you will receive an adjusted cost of attendance amount from your program advisor. This amount is included with your admissions packet received from each program. Once again, if you are in the MSF or MBA program, your cost of attendance is higher, and thus you need to indicate the amount for the MSF or MBA program on page 2. In order to prove you have the financial means to pay for the cost of attendance at GWSB, you must provide the proper documentation depending on your funding source. The chart on page 2 indicates what your sources of funding are, where they come from, and how much you have available for each year of study in your program. You must fill in the chart according to the cost of attendance for each year and your specific type of funding. You must fill in for both year 1 and year 2. Please do not only fill in for year 1. Multiple sources of funding are acceptable, but you must indicate in the chart the exact amounts for each source of funding for both years. Thus, if you have some money of your own, a scholarship from GW, some family support, and a scholarship from an organization, you would indicate each source in the appropriate area of the chart with the exact amounts for each funding source for each year. For those students who have family and individual sponsors, their sponsor must fill out the bottom portion of the form and sign it as well. Please do not forget to sign the form. We will not accept applications that are not signed and dated. We accept both electronic signature stamps as well as handwritten signatures. The forms of acceptable funding and the supplemental financial documents needed to prove the sources of funding are as follows. Self-support. Self-support means the funding is coming directly from you and no other. If this is your source of funding, you must provide documentation proving you have enough funds for each year of your program in the full amounts that you indicated. If this is your main and only source of funding, you must prove to have liquid assets for your entire program for both years. Provide the following to prove this source of funding: an official bank statement with your name on the account. Please be aware that we do not accept on-screen printouts or emails. The bank statement must have the following on it. It must have your account numbers, your name, the available funds, preferably in USD, and the statement can be no more than 1 year old. Please be advised that these assets must be liquid. Liquid assets can be proved by using either a savings account, checking account, or a sweep money market account. These are the forms of liquid assets that we accept, no exceptions. We do not accept investment portfolios, foreign loan statements, or real estate as forms of funding. The next form of funding is a family or individual sponsor. This form of funding is a family member or individual that will provide funding for your attendance at GWSB. Whether a family member or an individual is sponsoring you for the entire cost of your attendance or only partially, they must provide proof they can support your cost of attendance at the School of Business. If this is your main source of funding, your sponsor must provide a bank statement that shows the cost of attendance in liquid assets for at least 1 year. To prove that they have the available assets, the sponsor must provide an original bank statement with the sponsor's name on the account. Once again, this must be an official bank statement from the bank with the sponsor's name on the account. The sponsor who signed the bottom of the visa request and financial certification form must provide the bank statement. The bank statement must have the account numbers, the available funds, and must be no more than 1 year old. These assets must be liquid, i.e. a savings account, a checking account, or a sweep money market account. There are no exceptions. We do not accept investment portfolios, foreign loan statements, real estate certificates, or income statements as forms of funding. For all students with a family or individual sponsor, you must have the sponsor fill out the bottom of page 2. All requested information must be provided. If your sponsor is in the U.S. and is not a U.S. citizen, they must indicate this at the bottom and provide copies of their current visa and passports as well. The next form of funding is a government agency or other sponsoring organization. This refers to any student receiving a scholarship or financial support from their home country's government or from any other organization that is providing funding for their study at GWSB. Note that this is not GWSB or GW funding. They can provide full or partial funding. If this is your main source of funding, they must provide assets for your entire program for both years. Provide the following to prove that you have this as your main source or supplemental source of funding. An official letter from the sponsoring organization on official letterhead. The sponsorship letter must state the following exactly: the start and end dates of the sponsorship, the amount of the sponsorship, the name of the student that they are sponsoring, the name of the university and the school, in this case, the George Washington University School of Business, the degree that the student is pursuing, i.e. your degree program. And if this is your main and only source of funding, the letter must state that it covers all costs associated with tuition, living, books and supplies, and health insurance, no exceptions. Attention, all Saudi SACM students. We only accept the letter that says financial guarantee. We do not accept the for admissions purposes letter. Once again, SACM students, we only accept the letter that says financial guarantee. We do not accept the for admissions purposes letter. The next source of funding is GW funding. GW funding refers to any awards or scholarships that the George Washington University has awarded to you. This includes any scholarships, grants, or fellowships. To prove this source of funding, you must provide the following: an official GW award letter. This award letter must contain the following: it must be on official GW letterhead. It must state the exact amounts that are to be given to you and the duration of the award. Other is also a type of funding that indicates any other types of funding that you may have. Submitting your financial documents. For each source of funding you indicated on the Visa Request and Financial Certification Form, page 2, you must provide the proper documentation exactly as previously described. If proper documentation is not received, it will delay the issuance of your Form I-20 or DS-2019. We will not be able to issue you the Form I-20 or DS-2019 until all of the proper documents are submitted. To ensure you have enough time to apply for your F or J1 student visa, please submit all required documents exactly as described. If possible, please have all documents certified in USD. All statements must be in English. If the documents are not in English, please have them officially translated and certified by a translation agency. GW accepts copies of all documents electronically only. All documents are to be sent to sbglobal@gwu.edu. Please submit all documents electronically. If you mail your documents via traditional mail, it is very time-consuming and you may run the risk of your documents being lost. All financial documents must be no older than 12 months old. And you must show funding for your entire program. The next document you must provide is a copy of the biographic page of your passport. Your passport must be valid for at least 6 months into the future from the date you anticipate entering the United States. Once your application has been submitted, you have been accepted and admitted, and you have paid your deposit, we will begin reviewing your documents. You must have paid your deposit before we will process any of your documents. We will keep you updated every step of the way and send you regular emails regarding whether your file is ready to be processed or if it is missing components. Once your I-20 or DS-2019 is ready to be sent to you, we will send you an email requesting the address to which you would prefer it to be sent to. Again, this cannot be a P.O. box. Once your I-20 or DS-2019 is in the mail, we will follow up with a package tracking number, the school code, and your CVIS number. Please keep in mind that all status updates will be sent to the email you provided on your initial application. The International Student Office, also known as the ISO, is the department at GW that processes all visa support documents for international students. Once all of your documents are submitted, it takes approximately 10 to 15 days for the ISO to process the request. The sooner you submit all of your documents, the sooner the ISO will be able to generate your I-20 or DS-2019. You will be notified via email of the deadlines for submitting your documents. After you receive all of your documents for GW, it will then be time to fill out the visa application form and schedule your visa interview at the U.S. Consulate. For your visa interview, be sure to bring with you your original I-20 or DS-2019, your original bank documents, and your original admissions letter from GWSB. Be sure to check with the U.S. Consulate website for your country and know any additional requirements that the consulate may have for processing a student visa in your area. During your interview, be sure to highlight your past academic achievements, your professional goals, and how GWSB will help you achieve your goals. A great resource is Education USA. They have a variety of resources for students planning on studying in the United States. Education USA centers are sponsored by the State Department and are located all over the world. Please visit the website to find out more about Education USA centers in your area. For the visa request form, dependent forms, and instructions on how to complete the forms, please visit the graduate admissions website at graduate.admission.gwu/visa-requests. If you still have questions, please do not hesitate to contact us either by email at sbglobal@gwu.edu, or if you prefer, you can also contact us via Skype at GWSB Global. For students transferring their SEVIS record to GW and students who intend to bring dependents, please refer to the SEVIS transfer and dependents video. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you soon at the George Washington University School of Business.